All right, let's bring in Shea Dixon from On Three. Shea, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I don't have LSU fans upset with me because I told them Javien Toviano would pick LSU and he didn't. So he's a Tiger and all is well.
People get mad at you when things don't go their school's way, Shea?
This morning we passed a lot of time on the message board, which I think is just good therapy for everybody. Remembering the biggest meltdowns, and people said they would have melted down had he not picked LSU, just because all signs pointed to LSU. Biggest meltdowns in, let's call it, modern recruiting history, and rest in peace. I'm putting Joe McKnight up there. 5 for 5 day.
5 for 5 day was mine. That's where I was going.
5 for 5. So, well, you remember when Joe McKnight didn't pick LSU? It was like at the beginning of the bash.
I was the host of the bash, Shea. I was there. I was presiding over a funeral, it seemed like.
It was exactly right. Everyone just said, never mind. I took the day off work, and now my day's ruined. So that was, 5 for 5, and that would be 1 and 2 for me. And you could toss a Landon Collins in there, and that's a good top 3 probably.
Do you remember who the next commitment was after McKnight committed to USC? The next commitment that I announced in the auditorium. There's no reason you should. I just remember because I was MC that day.
Did the person go to LSU?
He did. He was really, really, really good too. The next guy on the list that day,
2007. Okay. Can I get a guess?
He was a local kid.
Chad Jones?
It was Chad Jones. Chad Jones, who was a 5-star and, was a great player at LSU and helped them win national championships in 2 sports. Yeah, that Chad Jones. Okay. And I remember.
Go ahead.
I remember saying it, and it was like polite applause. Like, okay, that's nice, but McKnight went to USC. And I was like, I was like a carnival barker. I was like, hey, we're a 5-star guy, 2-sport guy. This guy's really good. Yeah, but McKnight went to USC. I mean, I remember it like it was yesterday. And it's like, Chad Jones, Southern Lab, coming to LSU. Yeah, okay.
Well, look, 5 for 5. They walk away with 2 top 5 picks, and the other 3 didn't get drafted. But boy, did it not feel like the world had ended that day.
I was off that day. I listened to the show, and I was, I had just happened that way that I had the day off, and I was fine with that. All right, let's talk about Toviano and the recruitment that went down, and just how good he is.
Yeah, look, this was one of the top remaining uncommitted defensive backs in the country, and you go into Texas, when Texas was after him and Texas A&M was after him, and as he noted, he was very well spoken with breaking down all the teams there at a signing day ceremony. He said, look, over the past 8 months, Brian Kelly and that staff have prioritized me as an out-of-state kid more than any other school in my recruitment, and I think he even said it. Look, LSU's DBU, we have to get back to that, and they're not there right now. Getting a guy like Toviano puts you back on track to rebuild that defensive back room. He's versatile enough to play some corner, to play some safety. You can move him around. I think this is a big one, and he'll be the highest rated commitment at defensive back they have right now. Obviously, they could potentially add more, but top 10 safety. High school-wise, Charlie plays offense, defense, special teams. He can play coverage. You can put him in the box if you've got him at safety. I just think this is a really Jay Ward level versatility, but probably a little higher end prospect.
Is he an early entry? Is he an early enrollee?
Yes, I believe he is. I think that was the reason he wanted to go ahead and make the announcement and get signed early. So I do believe he is.
Well, get him to town because I'm counting DBs on, 1, maybe 2 hands right now for the bowl game. So you know what I had flashing. I know I was pretty sure that he was, but I wanted to confirm with you. I was having flashbacks in my head to the Fiesta Bowl where Derek Stingley came into practice with the team and Dave Aranda's going, you know what, if this guy could play on, in the game, he'd play in the game. Right now, I'm counting LSU DBs for the Citrus Bowl. So if Toviano makes it, I know he can't play. I'm making a joke, but you remember that, right? They were like, Stingley could play, I'm not sure LSU's not going to be looking for DBs in January.
Absolutely. I remember it well, and I know we're getting off track here, jumping all around Toviano's commitment, but with all of these Purdue opt-outs today, I think one of the easiest fixes for them is don't make this game count against anyone's eligibility. Let Garrett Nussmeier be the quarterback and not have to burn his red shirt so you don't have to play a wide receiver. Like, it doesn't make it, that seems like such an easy fix for me. Like, let all the kids who still want to hold a red shirt play in this game and not burn it.
I'm way ahead of you. I moved the game to August. I just moved the games to week 0. All of mine, all the bowl games that are not involved with the playoff, we're moving them to August. I fixed it.
I, I feel like I woke up today and suddenly the whole world's on your page. Like, I've heard that take from a lot of people now. I guess I'd never thought of it.
I've been on the week 0 bandwagon for a while. The bowl games going there is something a little bit new. I was happy with the whole Western Illinois versus Indiana thing in week 0 just to give us some football. But now if you put some real matchups in it, and you're not going to count it against the 12 games that the teams have to play. And I'm with you. Let's throw this thing in here. We're not going to count it against the red shirts either. We're going to pay them a bunch of money. It is going to count on your record though. It's going to count towards your playoff eligibility. So to me, this fixes everything. I'm taking the rest of the day off. I'm very, very happy with what we've decided to do with college football today, Shane.
Solving the world's problems, one segment at a time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's what we do here. All right, tell me about the weekend. And this is the final weekend before signing day. So who's coming in? What's on the line? What are we talking about this weekend?
Oh, man. So Toviano's commitment is in, and boy, doesn't that help kind of put some momentum forward into the weekend, because you turn right around and you've got Desmond Ricks, who is the highest rated or highest ranked, however you want to say it, uncommitted cornerback in the country. He'll be on campus for an official visit. You've got Isaac Smith, who after Toviano now is one of the highest ranked uncommitted safeties in the country. Coming out of Mississippi. He'll be on campus for his official visit. And then they'll have five or six current commitments: Shelton Sampson, Trey Holly, Ricky Collins, all the in-state kids who had not yet made their commitments. Some of them were playing high school football, obviously, in the playoffs through this month. So, or I should say, haven't made their visits. Will now end up visiting this weekend. So you'll have a crop of committed guys there to help host a couple of uncommitted defensive backs in Desmond Ricks and Toviano. And it looks like they're going to end up having a couple kids, maybe up to 2 from the transfer portal swing through over the weekend. So we'll keep an eye on that. But really, for Brian Kelly and the staff, all eyes are on the high school front, because the finish line is just a week away, less than that.
Yeah. Shea, for those that are looking at the transfer portal, and with Xavier Hill, I think that makes 13 on the way out for LSU, and so far only 1 on the way in. For those that are growing concerned with that, are you expecting that there will be more incoming transfer portal news after signing date, and that maybe some of these things are, kind of handshake agreements and the announcement will come later?
Yes, and then you're dealing with a lot of stuff that even once you get past hey, looks like this will work out for both sides, it's got to get through compliance. Everyone's, you've got transcripts from college coming across now and matching up coursework and all of that. So it takes a little bit of time, but I think more than anything, the focus right now is, hey, let's get started in the portal, but let's make sure we're finishing strong in recruiting. You've put, a full calendar year now of being on staff into these high school recruits. You don't want to let up here at the end. So, yeah, I would expect that after next week, so signing day runs Wednesday to Friday, Desmond Ricks is announcing Thursday, but I think he's the only one that's not doing it on Wednesday. So by the end of next week, I think they can officially shift the focus from high school to kind of full-on transfer portal.
Yeah, when they put all of this stuff through compliance, can we make sure everybody's eligible? Just asking.
Hey, we went through a season this year. I didn't see any suspensions or not much of any of that. So
there was one at the beginning, but we'll move we'll move past.
We'll let it slide.
We'll let that slide. No Christmas parties for you this weekend. You're fairly busy, right?
That's right. I will be fairly busy. So we'll be tracking everything with these official visitors, see if they can get a couple portal targets on campus as we expect. Look, the portal targets are very clear, Charlie. They're after corners, they're after defensive linemen, and they've offered a tight end or 2. So it's evident what they think their immediate needs are. And as you said, you can count their DBs on one hand right now, which is getting Javien Toviano today is a big deal because that certainly helps build some depth and gives you some playmakers in that safety room or corner room, wherever he ends up.
Let me buy you lunch next Thursday. You got a busy few days coming up. We always appreciate your time, Shea.
Always. Anytime for you guys.